Okay, we're live. Let me just double check on my Facebook page because this has been insane. Hello, my friends. We are live with Andreina Prada. This is our fourth attempt or fifth attempt. I don't even know. I already lost count.
Don't give up.
Oh, yeah, we don't give up.
We're live. I see it.
We're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Guys, let me see if I see. We are live! Wow. That was some perseverance, let me tell you. And this is a great testament of being happy despite of challenges, roadblocks.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can put it on my wall.
Yeah, you can share it.
I'm gonna share it, so
let me see. This has been incredible. Well, welcome, Andreina Pradas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Where's my phone? The setup we had to change.
Stay happy trying to do a faithful life. This is what we're gonna teach you today.
This is what we're gonna teach you. But no, that's not what we're gonna teach you. We're gonna talk about happiness because I'm here with Andreina, and she is the owner of Enhance and the happiness ambassador. And thank you so much for being so patient.
No, thank you for helping with technology. We were trying both ways, so.
But we did it. We made it.
And for those who went on and off, I hope you see this video, and I hope you get to see what you were, expecting from the two of us. As you all know, technology sometimes play games with people, so
yeah.
They were trying to see how happy we were gonna remain.
And we're happy. We're happy. I mean, we were laughing because this is just a way of testing us and trigger in us and tell you, you know what, you're gonna talk about happiness. Okay, let me send you some obstacles your way and see how you react, how you respond to that. So welcome to those of you who are joining us right now. Thank you so much for being here with us, Andreina.
Happy time.
How did you find out that was exactly what you wanted to create? A business, because you've created a business with happiness. And not only you're creating a business, you're teaching the health, education, and hospitality industries on how to be happy. You would like to share something about that?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Dayanna, for this invitation. You are an amazing person. So who else to try to do a Facebook Live for 40 minutes? No, still attentive. For those who are joining, thank you so much. And please feel free to ask questions. This is a conversation about happiness. And, happiness has been in my life forever. Some people who have known me for a long time know that I always felt the need to study happiness. And my approach to happiness is a science-based approach. So the way I started happiness was when I was sad. And you have to kind of understand the other side of the story, or the other side, to kind of appreciate the good things in life. And by being in my lowest, I decided that I needed to create something with all the knowledge I had gained throughout the years about happiness. And at one point in life, I felt that what I had learned from myself was much needed in so many places. So I decided to create a company. And more than a company, this is my mission in life, to get to every place that needs happiness.
And that's so beautiful because it has become your mission. You're not only impacting companies and people in general here in the United States, but you also have travel to other countries to bring happiness into the workplace, into their culture, and learn how and teach them how to incorporate it into their culture and lifestyle.
Yeah, unfortunately, happiness is needed so much and so many places. As Gallup says, 85% of the people working, and this is worldwide, are unhappy. So that's just in the workplace. But how many of our friends that we know that are struggling, and I think the main problem these days is that we look for happiness where there is no happiness. And happiness, one, is a decision, and happiness is inside you. So
Before
anyone
coming
can be
into
happy.
the live, that's so important, because coming to the live, I just for the heck of it, I just researched happiness. What is the meaning of happiness? And happiness is a state of being happy. But what is real happiness? And that's when the dictionary said the true meaning is an inner quality, is a state of mind. So how do you get to a state of mind that is consistent of being happy? Do you believe in embracing the challenges and embracing all the negative thought that we have sometimes in our mind for being happy, or how do you approach happiness? What is your take
Well, first
about
of all,
true
as I said,
happiness?
yeah, first of all, it's a decision. So some people don't want to decide to, or haven't decided to be happy. I have
Mm-hmm.
never found anyone who has said to me, I don't want to be happy. But I have found people who don't know how to be happy. And once you make a decision, it requires a little bit of homework, like anything in life. And the program I have created is that you start with yourself, because as science says, 90% of your happiness is internal, it's inside you. Only
Mm-hmm.
10% of the happiness is anything else, relationships, money, jobs, anything that we can imagine. And we focus so much, so many times on those things. So the approach I do to help people to have what I call a sustainable happiness is to work on the 90%, on what you can control, how you can control your thoughts, your beliefs, the way you approach life, and that's going to give you the real happiness.
Cliché, she's saying, start with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Thank you
Start
for
with
that.
yourself. And that is so important, because many people look for happiness or think they're going to be happy whenever they have the car, the job, the ideal car, the job, the house, the trips. But then you get to have all of that. And I talk about my own experience. You talk about having the things, having the jobs, having the trips, and sometimes you go to these places and you have these things and you still unhappy. And then you realize, oh, wait a minute, it is a decision.
Mhm.
It is within myself. And once you have that happiness within you, like you said, you don't need anything else. Everything else just comes and you enjoy it, and you're being present in the moment, enjoying these things that you were able to create. But you're in a happy mode,
Mhm.
genuinely, authentically.
And that doesn't mean, because sometimes people, I think now these days, it's that instant gratification. And I
Mm-hmm.
think people are looking for that something, as you said. And I always tell people that doesn't mean you're not going to be sad and you're not going to have those moments in life. It's actually the opposite. You have to embrace those moments. But true happiness is that you can always go back to happiness no matter what's going on in your life. Because you have worked on having that base, strong base of happiness, that you are going to embrace the moments that you're sad, but you know you're not going to stay there because you know how to get back to happiness. So that's the idea. It's not two way. And I always, I have so many clients when I do my one-on-ones with them that are waiting for that thing. And I always tell them,
Mm.
okay, tell me the last time you got that thing, that job, that promotion. How long did the happiness last? Did that promise you happiness forever?
Yes.
We all know that the answer is no. That when you buy a car, it might take a few months, or days, and then you are like, yeah, it's a car. And then the promotion, you get excited, and then, it's a promotion. And then you're waiting for the next and the next. And that's always, so you're always in the run for something else to find happiness.
You're
And
always
with
yearning.
people, when I said to, when you're waiting for that person in life, or you are allowing people to affect your happiness, if it is at work, your boss, if you're allowing people to affect your happiness, that's the power you give to people. So are you going to allow people to influence you and influence your happiness? Hey, Patricia.
I know. Patricia Ferreira joined us. Hello, beautiful. It is it is a decision. What do you think is the hardest part in making that decision to be genuinely happy and embrace happiness? What is the number one thing that you believe is the roadblock that stops people from making that decision?
I think what I said a moment ago is that there is this concept, and I think society, media, social media has played a role in this, but it's the fact that we think that happiness is outside ourselves, that we
Mm-hmm.
have a concept of the wrong happiness. And when we understand that it's inside us, we can make the decision that we can control our lives and the happiness in our life.
I love it.
So yeah, so it's understanding where happiness is and not allowing the outside or the external to be a determination for happiness. So
And what would be that first step into
the
that
first,
inner work?
yeah. Well, the first step, once you make the decision, I always work with people on what I call the mental health disc. And we want to make sure that the mental health disc is a happy disc, as I call it, because of the beliefs and the thoughts and we work on together with the person and I we work on understanding where this person is coming from, the beliefs and the thoughts throughout the day that determine your reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you decide every day that you're going to be a victim or you're going to be sad or no matter what happens in your life, on the other hand you're going to be happy, then that's going to determine your reality for
Yes,
that day. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life, how many people you know who struggle in life, but still they decided to be happy. So it's a decision that we have to make every day.
it is a decision that we need to make every day with purpose.
Yes. So we practice on what's here, and then we practice on changing the ones that are not helping us, those beliefs and thoughts that are not helping us. And the magic about this, and this is all, as I mentioned before, science based, the magic is that science has demonstrated that by changing the thoughts and by changing the approach to our lives,
Yes.
we can affect the genetics. So if we say, well, I'm sad because of my family, they all have been always sad. Well, you can change that.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what has happened in your life, the experiences, the generics, the traumas, you can always change that for something different by working on what's in your mind.
What's in your mind? And go in and get to know yourself.
Yes, because
It's
I
so
said to
important.
people, you know, it's sad when people say to me, I don't have time or I don't have money for, for hiring you or working on happiness. And I say, if you don't have time for yourself, what else can you expect in life?
Mm-hmm.
We don't think about going out for dinner. We don't think about buying this thing that we want, but we think about investing in ourselves. We don't value ourselves enough to say, I might not go to this dinner or I might not buy this thing, but I'm gonna invest in my happiness. Wouldn't that be the best that you could do for your life? But how many times you in your practice and in my practice, we find people who will run to buy that thing that will give them, a gratification for a little bit,
Yes.
and they don't invest in your services or anyone's services, because you also help with people and you help them to find happiness and in different ways. So
I guess they like you said, it's that instant gratification where uh, no, it just investing in yourself takes a great effort. And what I believe is perhaps that it requires a great deal of responsibility. Because once you invest in yourself and you invest in that commitment to change yourself, to nourish your mind and your soul, you need perhaps you cannot back out. I mean, you're it. You're going in and you're going to face the responsibility of facing whatever it is that you need to face. And I
yeah,
guess sometimes people maybe they think it's too much work and they rather run after that instant gratification until one day they say, okay, all right, I'm gonna do the work because they're tired.
Mm-hmm.
of searching for something that it will never fulfill their lives and their hearts and their minds. And they just say, okay, that's enough. I'm hungry for change, and I want to change, to be happy, to
Mm-hmm.
start filling up my tank.
Mm-hmm.
And others, they just prefer that instant gratification, and it's okay with them.
Yeah, this is not for everyone, but if you have the need for like long lasting happiness,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's gonna require a lot of investment of your time and money, just to make sure that you do what it takes to go there and to get there.
And it's
The,
so important because it is needed. And I love the fact that you're helping with three of the most important, and there's a whole lot of industry, but three of the most important industries, which is hospitality, education, and health,
yeah.
where we need this in order to have that ripple down and onward to everybody in the organization, for them to be
Mm-hmm.
happy, to feel happy, and to instill that happiness and that self-love within their teammates.
Yeah, I always, I had the opportunity to work with, went to a conference for the public schools in Miami-Dade. And, these are the people who are affecting the future of our country and many countries, because we don't know where those kids are going to be in the future. So I tell people, Gallup says that we have 85% of the people working worldwide are sad or unhappy with their job. And then one program in the United States called Head Start reported in January this year that 85% of the teachers are depressed. So who are in the middle?
Wow.
The kids. So that's why my vision in the future is to get to the kids. The sooner we teach the kids to be happy, to take care of themselves, to love themselves, to follow their dreams, the issue is gonna be for them. I'm not saying that money is not good. I'm not saying that success is not good, but we are telling them the first. That it's kind of the opposite formula. I say,
Mm-hmm.
we are telling the kids, you have to be successful, you have to compete, you have to make money, and then maybe you're gonna be happy. It's actually the opposite. So you are happy,
It
and then
is the
maybe.
opposite. It is the opposite. And you know it. We've experienced it.
We
We
experience
share
it
it,
today.
especially today.
Stay happy, despite the fact that technology was playing with us. I wanna I wanna see if anyone has any questions. I don't know if you wanna talk about a little bit how you provide happiness to your people, Dayanna, because you
How
do
I
an
provide
amazing job.
happiness to my amazing gals. Well, the light is shining on you, but I do share, and the way I bring happiness is for them to get to know themselves, to be able to break free from those limiting beliefs. And one of the programs is the Stereo Life, and another one is, you know, journeys. Their journeys back to self, back to the soul, to feed your soul. And those are experiences. They're not just trips to Costa Rica or other parts of the world. They're actually experiences, because it's different when you go and, just go on a trip, just to sightseeing. And another thing is to go on a trip, on a inner journey, enjoying nature, being with nature, and being with yourself in the most profound
Mm,
and intimate way, in where you get to know your thoughts and your emotions, and you're able to break free from
mhm,
anything that it's blocking you. So when you work on yourself, everything else reflects back onto your world, whether it's your job, your family, your business, your projects, what you love, your mission, your vision. So it's a ripple effect, and
mhm.
it affects everything around you. And that's what
Yeah,
I do.
yeah, and that's a beautiful mission as well. And as I see it every day with the companies I work and the people I work, the moment you start working in yourself, everything in your life around you is gonna change. But again,
Yes.
it cannot be the opposite or the other way around.
No.
It has to start with you. You can expect people to change if you don't change. You can expect people to be happy if you are not happy. you can expect people to love you if you don't love yourself. So the work needs to be with you first. And someone said to me, a client said to me the other day, I'm just afraid of working with you because I'm afraid of finding myself. And I said, what could be more beautiful in life than finding yourself? You know, you live with yourself every day of your life. So
Magda is asking Andreina, and let me put my glasses on.
oh yeah, that's a big
What,
one.
Andreina, what do you think about emotional awareness as part of recognizing happiness?
That's huge in the work
Yes.
I do with people. You know, you, as I mentioned before, part of happiness is embracing the emotional component, understanding that there are moments that you're gonna be sad and that's fine. There are moments that you're gonna be happy and that's
Mhm.
super fine. And embracing those moments and just allowing yourself to be sad. I think part of the problem nowadays is that we see sadness and as something bad, and then we
Mhm.
try to suppress with whatever is out there that quickly can make us. I need to be back to happiness, and we confuse joy with happiness. Happiness
Yes.
is a long-term work, and joy is those are moments, but the emotional awareness of where you are in life and how to manage those emotions are critical in the work of finding happiness in your life. So thank you, Magda, for the question.
Yes. Thank you for your question. And self-awareness is it's one of the greatest, biggest, and most fundamental steps into your emotional growth and in finding joy, in finding happiness, and in finding that balance in your life. Because you're able to identify all your triggers, right? You're
Mhm.
able to identify what is causing all these emotions, and you're able to either manage them and or embrace them
Mhm.
as they come.
Yeah,
Great
and you,
question.
yeah.
Great question. Anybody else have questions for Andreina or myself? We're here for you. We're talking about happiness.
Now that we finally got here, you better have questions.
You better have questions. That was a struggle, but it was worth it. It was worth it because we learned it. We were happy. We persevere. We were persistent, and here we are. And we truly thank everyone else that were patient with us, that have stayed with us, that have asked questions. Thank you so much for being here. So,
And the final thing
gals.
I want to mention, because I get this one very often, is the guilt,
Hmm.
especially for parents. So anyone who's a mom or a dad who is watching right now, I always tell them, you know, I understand that you are a father or a mother, but you cannot say you are a father or a mother first, because you are you first. Because
Yes.
the moment you work on being happy, the happier the kids are gonna be. And I see this with my clients. If you take some time, a realistic time. I know that nowadays, we don't have time. That's the
Hmm.
complaint of these days. But if you find a few minutes or look whatever you need throughout the day to find happiness, you're gonna start seeing the results in people around you. So instead of feeling guilty for investing time in yourself, feel like you're going to embrace happiness and you're going to embrace your kids' happiness by working on that.
Thank you so much for bringing that to light because that is a huge part, a huge, huge part. Guilt plays a big part in our lives for moms, especially for moms and dads too. But working with women, I realize that that is a big, big struggle.
Mhm.
Do I put my kids first? Do I put my marriage first? Or do I work on myself? And that is the give and take. Okay, what do I do? What do I do? Because if I give too much, if I don't give anything to myself, then I'm gonna feel guilty. And if I only work on my marriage, I only work on my kids, on everybody else's needs, and leave mine last. How that's gonna look?
Mhm.
It's a snowball effect that it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then one day we just crash.
Mhm. Yes. So don't forget that you are first, and I promise you there is always time, and that time that you invest is gonna multiply in your kids' happiness, in your marriage and your relationships, at work, anywhere you go. So by working, you deserve it, and also it's much needed everywhere.
Thank you. It is. And thank you, thank you, thank you. If anybody has any more questions, thank you
Before we
so
departure
much.
from
Before we departure, I just realized
we were able to make it.
we
So
were
thank
able
you
to
everyone for joining us. And I'm sorry for those who join and then I turn it off. You can always go back and watch us. And
Oh
if you have
wait,
questions.
Magda has another question, but before that, I need to plug my computer. See, this is what happens when we had to improvise and we had to set up have a different setup. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
I'm trying to see Magda's question.
This was truly life. Magda is asking, Dayanna, any tips on how our inner being guides us into happiness? Ha, you knew. Thank you, Magda, for that. Our inner guides. We truly, sometimes we don't want to listen to that inner voice. Sometimes we don't want to ask to that intuition. And our guides always leads us. And we're the ones who are stubborn. And when we get really, really still and listen to ourselves, they always put us in the right place with the right people in order for us to create that magic. And we always have them. So trusting and being still that we're being guided to this place, magical place, and truly, truly following our heart. Truly following our heart. And I know it's a little woo-woo for some.
But it's all inside you, and that little
Can you hear
voice.
me? Oh, wait. That's why I wasn't putting my headphones. There we go.
Yeah, but I could hear you. So
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
See, that was live. We are live. Getting you busy. Yes, you're getting us busy. Which is great. Which is great. Thank you, Magda. Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us in our 6th Facebook Live of the day. Thank you, Dayanna, for the invitation.
No, thank you so much for being patient. Thank you so much for your time, for giving us this space to talk about an important subject that we really don't, sometimes we don't talk about.
Yes.
And we need
to be happy all the time.
We need to be happy. Any final thoughts? Any final tips on how they can, what they can do? What is the first step in order to make that decision?
Just start being aware of your thoughts and your beliefs. Start writing those or taking notes of those and recording those. That's the key for finding what's preventing you from happiness. And I promise you, it only takes a little bit of work and it's so worth it. Mm-hmm. Being happy is all we want and we all deserve. So be happy always. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, Magda, for all the amazing questions. Thank you, Patricia. My husband, I see right there, joining us from Ecuador. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And thank you, Andreina. I truly appreciate your light. We've met not long ago, mm-hmm. and you have brought so much light into my life.
Oh, no, thank you.
And I appreciate you immensely. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful that we're sharing this space with you tonight.
Thank you so much. Yeah, be happy, everyone.
Be happy. Thank you so much. Have an amazing night tonight.
Bye.
Bye.